everyone. My name is Dean Jennissen. I'm the superintendent here at Chisago Lakes Area Schools, and I'm excited to be able to just share some great news from the school district in our opening plans for the fall. And I think it's really fitting that we're here in one of our outdoor classrooms because it's all about education, and we've been working on this throughout the summer. And so we're excited about the opportunity to talk with you, and we've got students in the background, which is really great because that's what we're all about as well as the students. And so as I speak with you, you don't get a chance to see my face yet. I'm going to take off my mask, but one of the things that is clear for our schools is we are following the governor's mask mandate. And for me personally, it's not something that I really enjoy doing, but I do feel like, and the way I see it for me personally is if I'm wearing a mask and it helps you feel more comfortable being with me, if it helps me not spread something to you, I'm going to wear that mask, because really this whole thing is not about me personally. It's about serving all of you. And so I've enjoyed that part of my role throughout my time here in Chisago Lakes. And as I begin my fourth year, I still see this as one of the greatest roles. I don't even call it a job. I call it a role that I play in our school system, because to me, I don't have a hard time getting out of bed every day and coming and spending time with students, with staff, serving people. This is a servant leadership position, and every day that's what I intend to do. So as I serve you, I hope to convey in this message an opportunity for us just to share what's been going on at school. And I will think about it from a parent's perspective. I want to let you know, as parents, we love your children. We have 3,400 students in the school district, and as things shake out this year, we're not sure how many we're going to have, because there are options for parents, and hopefully you've had an opportunity to review our options and look at what we're doing as a school district. On our website, you'll be able to see all kinds of information about our reopening plans, but also about all of our plans related to safety of your students and safety of our staff members. And it really is a collaborative. I think if there's one thing I think about in all of this is we're in this together. And you see those signs kind of around our communities, or maybe in our state and in our nation, talking about being in this together. And we truly are. If we're in one big boat together, we've all got to grab an oar and start paddling. And that's what we've been doing since March. And honestly, one of the most exciting things for us as a school staff is to welcome students back for the first time since March 6th. If you think about that, that was a long time ago. And we are so excited. We've got open house here tonight at the middle school, and we got open house at our high school and open houses at our elementaries over the next day. And we're excited to see kids again. We're excited to be together again as a staff. And at the same time, we're doing it all with the same apprehensions and concerns you have as parents when you think about what happens in your homes and what's happening in our communities. And one way that we've really described it is, and one of our teachers shared this with me, if you think about all of us being on a yardstick, and if inch number 1 was, I feel super unsafe and I don't feel comfortable at all, and inch 36 is, I feel super comfortable, and let's rip these masks off and let's all hug each other, that's a situation where we're somewhere on that continuum, and every day it could change. Today you might be an 18, and tomorrow you might be a 24, and then something happens in your life, and you think about something, you read about something, you experience something personally, and you say, you know what, today I'm feeling like a 2. And I don't want to really even go out of my house today because I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe going out in the community. I don't feel safe going to church. I don't feel safe visiting relatives. I don't feel safe visiting someone in my family or one of my friends who might be compromised in some way. All those things are things that are not okay, really, honestly, because we used to be able to go visit our grandchildren. We used to be able to go visit our grandparents. We used to be able to go visit and never think twice about what we could be bringing into their home or what they could be bringing into ours. And so life, we know it, certainly has changed, and that's not okay in way too many ways. At the same time, we wake up every morning and we say, you know what, today is a new day, and I'm going to make this a great day based upon what I have going on in my life. I can still make it a great day. And so for you as parents, we want you to know, for your children, we want them to have a great day every day at Chisago Lakes Schools. You know that we've operated, or we're operating in a way that is more restrictive than what the state is requiring. And we did that with a whole lot of thought and intentionality. We did look at all kinds of other schools' plans. We did look at the data as to what's happening in our communities in terms of COVID cases and things like that. And as we planned as a staff, and we had a planning meeting that included staff and parents and administration and all kinds of folks. In August, in the beginning of August, 68 people got together over a 2-day period, and we talked about how we could bring kids into our schools. And at that time, our model was based upon COVID numbers for Chisago County that were quite low and would allow for us to be completely in person. But as we talked over a 2-day period, about halfway through the second day, we really talked about how we could safely bring children into school. And when you think about our high school, almost 1,100 students, bringing 1,100 students into our hallways on September 8th, we thought, how are we going to do that in a safe way? And we really felt like that was not going to be possible. Not safe for our students, not safe for our staff, and we really felt like the hybrid model, bringing in half of our students on any given day, was a better model to help us promote safety and at the same time provide an education. And so that's what we're still tracking for on September 8th. Today is September 1st, and we're 7 days away from that marker. And we see COVID cases in Chisago County still declining to some degree, based upon the measurements we see from the Department of Health. And as we track that each week, we meet as an incident command team, which involves people from our school system and people from county public health. And we talk about those COVID case numbers. And we want you to know we're reviewing those things weekly to ensure that we are in the right model or the right situation for our district. And as you can see from our neighboring districts, from districts throughout the state, there are many that have gone to distance learning. And distance learning, we know, is challenging. It's challenging for families because now your students are at home full time. And we know that that's not easy. You're definitely paddling in your part of the oar very, very hard when you have students at home, because that's not where they should be. They should be in school. And we do thank you for grabbing an oar and paddling with us. But our goal is to keep kids in school as long as we possibly can safely, and to keep our staff teaching and supporting students safely. And so you'll see some things different from our teachers this year, not only on the gold and green schedule, which you're following, and is important for us to provide for you that stability and that consistency week to week. That's part of the reason why we went to the schedule that we did, so you can predict as parents when your children will be in school. We know that's crucial to daycare and to your ability to supervise them and have a safe environment at home for them. So we wanted that predictable schedule for everyone, but then we also, when your students come to school, they are going to have to wear a mask. We are going to have as much one-way traffic in hallways as we can. We are going to provide the social distancing that we possibly can. With half the students being in a classroom. If that was a classroom of 24 students, now it'll be 12 or somewhere around that number. So we are going to provide those types of supports. We have a great HVAC system throughout our district, which we've inspected and are inspecting this summer, and we will enhance wherever we feel we need to beyond what's an already adequate system, because we know to have good fresh air in classrooms is important to everyone involved. So we're working on that. We're providing all of the hand sanitizer and cleaners that are needed. We're providing gloves where they're needed. We're providing, obviously, all of us are having masks, and we're providing all those types of things too. But really, it comes down to some real common practices that you've known all of your lives, and that is to wash your hands frequently. And it is to stay home when you're sick. And it is to socially distance wherever and whenever you can. I think those key foundational strategies are going to be important to us all, even when we come out of COVID-19. And I think that's okay, because I think I washed my hands a lot before. I wash them a whole lot more now, and that's an okay thing. So those types of things too, we want you to impress upon your children, that if we do those foundational things day after day after day, and I've learned in my life and in education and in coaching and competing and all those types of things, it is the little things that really make the big difference. And so I really want us to focus on doing those little things well. Let's wear our masks, let's wash our hands, let's socially distance, let's stay home when we're sick. And we are asking you as families to work with your children and look at and do those self-checks at home. So you will see when you come into schools, we are not doing temperature checks, because there's a lot of information related to temperature checks that would say they won't be real accurate when a student's coming in from the outside. So it takes, to have an accurate temperature reading is not real consistent when it comes to large groups of kids coming into school. So we are asking for parents to be involved in the wellness checks of their children. We're asking our employees to do the same and not to come to school when they're sick. There'll also be plans in place for if there are exposures in a classroom or in a building or in a setting, that we will work with the Minnesota Department of Health through it all. And they are our guide, and they'll be the ones that will help dictate what that flow of information would be once we know that there are potential testing situations that need to be done or confirmed cases of COVID. And like I said, we know that this pandemic continues, but we continue to pay attention to it day after day, and we continue to provide the safety that we possibly can, and we continue to monitor those numbers so that we feel we're in the right place for our school district, and we will continue to do so. Beyond that, as I think about being in my neighborhood every night with all kinds of school-age kids around me and talking to parents, they have lots of questions, and we are more than happy to answer those questions. So continue to use our communications portion of our website where you can send a direct email to the district, and typically I'm the one answering those emails, and so I will get back to you as soon as I can. Also with phone calls, there will be things that will come up here as we start school. And I think the word fluid has been used probably a lot. This is a fluid situation with the public health numbers and the pandemic, but it's also a fluid situation as to how we respond. And we will continue to respond with your best interests in mind, with your children's best interests in mind, with our staff's best interests in mind, trying to provide that safe environment where we can still have in-person education. And we're so excited about that opportunity. I mean, there's nothing better. We are educators. We love children. We love being with children. And to not have seen them since March 6th has been super hard. We know it's been hard for you as families too. So as we come together as a community to support our children, I thank you on behalf of the entire school district, the school board, our staff. We have been so blessed by being a part of this community where people support their schools and really want to pitch in wherever they can. And so we're thankful. Thank you for pitching in with us. We know you're doing a lot of work out there in the community and in your homes to support what's happening at school. We'll continue to do our part as well, and we'll continue to work together to provide a great school year here for our Wildcats. And so thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. Reach out anytime. And like I said, I'm here to serve you and serve the communities, and I couldn't find a better place to be doing that in than Chisago Lakes. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you sometime.